We are following those new developments out of Manatee County, Florida, where Ashley Benefield, former ballerina, sentenced to 20 years for the shooting and killing of her estranged husband, Doug.
After the sentencing, her Doug's cousin, Tommy Benefield, if you remember back during the trial, he was very vocal during the trial. He was there a lot. And then Eva Benefield, Doug's daughter, she testified at trial and then also had a very moving victim impact statement today. They got in front of the cameras afterwards and reacted.
We believe that it was fair. We know that the second-degree murder was not a guilty verdict, that manslaughter with a firearm was. That was below the minimum of 25, but still took into account Doug's killing by her.
Is there anything you want people to know?
My dad was the best man that I've ever known in my entire life, and he will continue to hold that in my mind and in our family's mind forever. I'm really content with the sentencing, the verdict, and you know, I think that I waited so long to be able to speak to her face to face, and I finally got that for myself personally, so I hope prison serves her well.
This has been a long process. Do you feel like there's any sense of closure with this?
TBD.
There is, but 30 days on appeal. They're going to appeal. You heard the final closing arguments of her defense attorney, and that was all based on appeal stuff, not based on trying to get the sentencing right. So they're clearly only focused on appeal. That typically takes a year after the appeal is filed to be heard. We will fight very avidly, very strongly for her to remain in jail during the appeals process. So will the prosecution. She's a flight risk, and we know that. She's being supported by people who believe her. We understand that. But even the sheriff's office believes she's a flight risk.
Do you agree with the judge saying that she did show some form of remorse throughout the trial?
I disagree with his perception of it. I believe that she showed that she was traumatized or affected by killing him with the shot that she shot him with. There's no doubt that would have shocked anyone. If you've never done that in your life, no one's seen that. We've seen it on TV or movies, but it's different in person. I believe she was scared by what happened, but not remorseful at killing.
More than 4 years later now, what does today mean to your family?
Not only did she not win on stand your ground, which is very, very liberal, appropriately, not only did she not get off on a charge of manslaughter with a firearm, the sentencing means we know what it's going to cost her finally, as opposed to what's cost their daughter, Ashley and Doug's daughter, what it's cost Eva every day in her life to miss her dad the way that only he could do. As I spoke about in court, y'all have no understanding unless you research what he's done for this country, for the Western world, for democracy, for freedom. Unless you know the sacrifices he gave, that's the man we knew for 59 years, not what the woman said today. Today's a good step towards seeing her where she should pay a price.
Is Emerson still with her mom?
Alicia, Ashley's mother, has guardianship currently of Emerson. We have not felt it appropriate to step into that at all until after the sentencing and see where we are next. But we know from the time that Emerson spent walking around that courtyard that almost everyone saw that as abuse by letting a 6-year-old do it. That certainly needs to be looked at by the state. I think all of our family talked about this. There's no doubt the judge put it properly that we see it in a very different way than the defense or Ashley saw through a lens. But we have a pattern in her life that we personally dealt with in Ashley's behavior towards us, towards Doug, and we believe our lens was the right lens to see her as the deceiver, the liar that she is. It started with lying about poisoning, ended up with lying about killing Doug. This gets us to a point where it's been adjudicated. She's been sentenced, we believe, appropriately, and we'll carry on from here to make sure she gets to meet out that sentence in prison in the state of Florida.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Eva, can you explain the part that's on the back of your jacket? Is that
Yeah, there's 2 hearts.
Oh, I didn't see that one. Okay.
Where my dad was shot.
Thank you.
So even today, they're trying to say that Doug was facing Ashley when she shot him. And that's just been the lie throughout this entire thing. When the bullet comes through your body and lodges in your back from the side, that is not from the front. That's not attacking someone. That's turning to run from someone pointing a gun at you. We talked about the unsophisticated or sophisticated part of this. She was sophisticated. She had a gun loaded in the bedroom, a gun loaded in the kitchen, and her carry weapon right there in front of him. Doug had no idea there was another gun in that room to be shot with. Don't believe it was unsophisticated. This was planned, it was sophisticated, and that came out in court with a sentence today. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all.
Okay, there it is, the reaction from the family. A little reference there to little Emerson, who's 7 years old, with Ashley's mother. That
And
should
what
be
will
left
happen going
alone,
forward.
in my opinion. Don't mess with that poor kid.